What's going on, you sexy beast? Welcome once again to another edition of Drathamus Gaming. I am your host, Drathamus. Today we're going to be talking about the SME Munitions EM6. This light machine gun is a new conglomerate's take on the high fire rate and medium damage of the Terran Republic's T9 Carve, and the Vanu Sovereignty's Orion. Since the new conglomerate prefers slower firing, harder hitting weapons, the EM6 fills a nice role in being a medium range powerhouse and still holding strong in close quarters combat. So, that being said, let's step into the nitty gritty with this weapon. Let me be the first to say, starting off with this weapon completely bare is pretty hard to do. To me, most of the new conglomerate's light machine guns look exactly the same, save for a tiny feature like a different trigger guard or a different magazine color. The EM6 is no exception, meaning that it still has, to me, the worst iron sights in the game. It's a ghost ring setup with the forepost being quite large and the rear sights being completely obtrusive. If you're not the best at tracking targets within, say, 5-10 meters, then this gun is going to be a pain to use simply due to how difficult it is to look through the frickin' iron sights. Easily, the best way to alleviate this is to equip a sight, right? That's where the big question comes in. What do you want? This is a medium fire rate light machine gun designed for medium to short range encounters. Due to this, I've opted for the 2x zoom reflex sight. This allows for easy aiming down the sight maneuverability in short range combat while allowing me to engage targets at a longer distance. But I could still find that the 3.4 times scope's quite feasible for this gun. Anything past that, though, would more than likely be overkill, as it would be too difficult to control the recoil at further ranges, which pretty much renders this weapon useless if you can't keep throwing lead downrange at a reasonable rate. I'll get more into the different playstyles later. Let's dive into the statistics of the EM6. It fires at a rate of a flat 600 rounds per minute, making this slightly faster firing weapon system than the default NC6 Gauss SAW, which clocks in at 571 rounds per minute. Each bullet from the EM6 deals 7 bars of damage, or about 18% worth of health on any non-infiltrator class. This clocks the weapon in at a 6-bullet kill, or a potential of 16 kills with one full magazine if all the rounds were to land. With only needing 6 bullets to drop a target and a 600 round per minute fire rate, this gives the EM6 an awesome 0.57 second time to kill. That's a little over half a second in order to drop a target. That's pretty scary if you ask me. The reload speed of the 100 round magazine is a pretty slow 4.32 seconds, but this is to be expected in the LMG weapon class since the default NC6 Gauss SAW has a reload speed of 6.3 seconds. Alrighty, so after all of those numbers, let's talk a bit about the combat effectiveness of this weapon, what role it fills, and what attachments I prefer to use. I'm sure a lot of you know, but the weapons in Planetside 2 aren't built to be superior to its predecessor. They're made to fill a different role, giving the class that it's designed for more adaptability in different combat scenarios. The EM6 gives the heavy assault class the ability to fight at a range of 15 to about 45 meters. Anything closer or further, a different weapon will be better suited. Still, most of the fighting in Planetside 2 takes place within 50 meters, so this weapon shines as a good all-purpose gun. As with all fully automatic weapons, though, there comes some pretty hefty recoil, and this gun is no exception. Since I'm usually aiming down the sights quite often, the underbarrel attachments only make sense to me with grabbing a foregrip. This negates nearly all noticeable horizontal recoil, which makes bullets landing pretty easy. A laser sight is much better suited on the LMGs designed for close quarters combat, but the EM6 is not one of them. For the barrel attachments, I opt for the compensator. Like I said, this isn't a CQC weapon, so the reduced hipfire isn't going to bother me, and showing up on the minimap is by no means a drawback with a reduced vertical recoil. Now here comes the big debate, the sights. The EM6 does indeed have a select fire mode between semi-automatic, burst fire, and fully automatic. What's interesting with the burst fire is that it's a 2-round burst, so getting a 3.4 times scope is completely viable if you set the weapon to burst. You'll be a very, very menacing medium-range fighter. The M6 also allows for the use of high-velocity ammunition, giving the weapon a longer range for fighting potential by making the rounds travel faster, so you don't have to lead as much, but that's obviously not going to have any effect if you fight in close quarters. Now, this is coupled with increased vertical recoil, but since you'll more than likely be firing in bursts, this will be negated. With a 6 bullet kill, it only needs 3 bursts to drop a target, so you just click the mouse 3 times, they're dead. Then again, since this weapon is good all around, I prefer the 2 times reflex. This is really awesome since I'm totally stumped with which setup is superior. Obviously both styles are going to fit different roles, but I like how one gun can fill multiple fighting positions. So let's get down to the actual price of this weapon. It's 500 certification points, which is pretty nifty since most of the newer guns coming out have been in the 1000 range. But this gun has been out since the release, and you do get it if you did get Alpha Squad. If not, that's 500 certifications you gotta get. But, just like the 1000 certification guns, the EM6 still cost 700 station cash. All the weapon sights in the game cost 30 certs, which is pretty obtainable. That doesn't take too long to get. All other attachments, though, cost 100 certs each. Let's add on the foregrip and the compensator. That's another 200 certification points. If you're going for the urban fighting style, then that's all you'll need. Your sights of choice, foregrip, compensator, and the weapon itself all round off to 730 certification points total. If you're going for the medium range fighter and want to add on the high velocity ammunition, then that'll add another 100 certs, giving the total weapon package 830 certification points to reach full combat effectiveness. Alrighty guys, that's about all I have to say about the EM6. It's a very strong light machine gun with a lot of potential. It has a very nice fire rate, but lacks the pure stopping power of the NC6 Gauss Saw. If I had to choose between the two, I would definitely prefer the EM6, just due to the fact that it has much more adaptability and fits into the heavy assault class quite nicely. I know I've been mainly focused on New Conglomerate so far, but my next review will be a Vanu Sovereignty weapon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you found the video both informative and entertaining, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. Got an idea for the next weapon review? Drop a suggestion in the comment section below, or just say that you think that Capri Sun is the best freaking drink ever. If there is something I can improve on, please let me know. Want to see more videos like this? Go ahead and subscribe. It's free.